everyone, I'm Sharon with Entelechy Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of September 30th through October 6th. So we are finally finishing up this month, which has been a lot of integration for all of us, but also some challenges as well. September has been a really tricky month as it followed the eclipse season and all of that deconstruction of the summer. And then we integrated all of those lessons. So we were kind of in this preparatory phase for this next phase of our lives. So you may have found that September, and even currently, that you are going through some sticky situations, some challenges. Maybe things are presented in relationships, business, connections, because that has been a theme right now with relationships. But we've been going through these tests, and it's almost like we are taking a couple steps forward as this momentum is building, and then we take 10 steps back. We've been giving these certain challenges that are allowing us to pause and also reflect and see, are these the decisions that we want to make as we're moving forward? And to reassess and gain a lot of perspective and learning things as we're taking those 10 steps back. So it may feel like you're not making a lot of progress right now because we've been in this pattern of a couple steps forward, many steps back, a couple steps forward. And it's been a little frustrating. So I'm not gonna lie that it's definitely been a challenging month, and that can really inspire a lot of impatience as well. Because really, ultimately, we just want to catapult ourselves into the new. We're just ready for that ease. We're ready for that flow again. But we really, truly can't move into that great expansion without all of the lessons, without all of the integration. Because if we were truly in the fullness of our expansion in the new, we may not be fully ready for it. So there's always a rhyme and reason for the pace of life and how things are showing up for you and the challenges that are presented in your life. Everything has their purpose, even when it may not even seem like it is having a purpose. So how are we facing these things? When a challenge shows up for you, it can throw us off kilter. It can throw us into this storm of fear where we feel like things are being done to us, or everything in our reality is becoming dismantled, and we can go into this place of that fight or flight, or feel like we have lost control, or feeling very powerless when things like that occur. However, if we can kind of move out of our ego self and release expectations, as much as our personality is chattering and telling us that we are unsafe or not feeling very secure, which is the purpose of our ego, to really protect ourselves. If we move out of that expectation place and let go, and just breathe into what really is occurring, and allow yourself to soften. Allow yourself to surrender. Surrender to what is occurring. Because what is actually happening is divinely orchestrated. It's being governed by so much support behind the scenes. And what I mean by that is you have an entire team, your guides, your higher self, many beings of light, and all of creation itself is orchestrating on your behalf. So trust this, that when you go into fear, things might show up in your life that are disguised as challenges, but really they are gifts. And I know that's funny to see or integrate that lesson of that, But when we are presented with a challenge, and you can even look back on challenges that you have had in the past and see how they have shaped themselves and what has transpired from them. What had you learned from specific challenges where you felt like it was the end of the world, but maybe months down the line, years down the line, you look back at that challenge and you see how much you grew, how much stronger you got, where it led you down a different path that you needed to go, but you may not have gone if you didn't have that challenge. So if we can see these little tests that pop up in our lives, even bigger tests, as these ways of redirection or new perspective shifts, we can see that everything is well, that there's nothing to fear, that you are being taken care of the entire step of the way. So we will be having these gifts. It's not all about challenge. There are gifts that are coming. This is harvest season. So things will be popping up in your life that are long-awaited answers to your dreams, to your goals, and to a higher vision that you've had for a very long time, because you've put in a lot of grunt work, and now is this reaping of what you have sown is going to be popping up and presenting itself, but it may not present itself in the way that you had imagined. So again, releasing the expectations of what you thought your life should look like, and to be open and welcoming, accepting of what is showing up for you, maybe in a different kind of package than you expected. So when we enter something new, when we enter a new cycle, a new phase of life, and maybe it's followed many months or many years of challenge or difficulty, when we enter this new phase, we can almost have kind of like an addiction to the comfort of our pain and suffering. Even though we may have been pining and craving for some kind of change, some kind of new thing, something to shift from the monotony or stagnation we've been feeling. However, when we move into that new thing, it's almost like we crave and we are attached and connected to the way things have been, because we've got used to that pain and suffering. We've gotten used to the stagnation. And again, our ego wants the same. It wants safety. It wants control. So even though we've been calling new things into our life, we've been setting intentions, we've been desiring these new changes, when it comes about, just notice where your mind is and how your body feels through that. Because there could be some discomfort when something arises and we're not familiar with it, and it's all very new, and maybe new people show up, new experiences, and this invites you into stepping up to new gifts and skills that you are ready to offer, but at the same time, not familiar with offering them. Just remember that this is all planned. This is all working out the way it needs to. And it's just a learning curve that you're going through. As we're exiting one phase and we're entering this new phase, there is some time for this learning curve. So when you think about a new house that is built on a plot of land, you think about the foundation that is laid initially to build the house. The foundation isn't just laid to build the house right away. So there is some preparation. So there is a clearing of the land. There is a bulldozing, maybe a removal of rocks or trees. So we've kind of been in that phase of let's remove what is there, kind of weed out the old, but also prepare the space so that we have a nice, soft, smooth space that is clear and ready to receive the foundation of our new lives. So this is the period where we start building our foundation. And in building our foundation, we are setting the stage in a new way for who we have become and who we are now. However, a foundation is completely new. We are working with a clean slate. So when you enter this new phase, this new cycle of the unfamiliar, and you may find yourself having new emotions, having new experiences, just come back to that place of trust. Come back to knowing that you are safe, knowing that you've been craving this, you've been pining for this for a really long time. And it may not look how you want it to look, but just be patient with it. Be patient with the unfolding, because as a foundation is built, you're not going to see the next level of the house because you're only seeing that foundation. So you're just at the beginnings of this new cycle. So allow it some time. Allow it some time to evolve, to build, and to know that the potential is there as you're laying the groundwork, and so much more can happen out of this. So this is a really, really exciting time ahead because we're putting behind this season of integration and we're entering more into this harvest of October and the cooler months ahead. So if you need additional support at this time, you can reach out to me at entelekivisions.com. I offer remote sessions by phone and in-person sessions in Arizona. And feel free to ask me any questions. I love to hear from you. So I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and thank you for listening.